Hey guys, now you might be wondering why I'm not doing a top 10 today. That's because I thought I'd show you something different. And I felt like making one of my favorite treats that I make. In fact, you actually might see this one in my top 10 favorite recipes. But for now, I'm going to be showing you the whole thing. How to make it, what to do, step by step, how much. But first, I gotta start by washing my hands. I'll be right back. I know this recipe pretty well. I don't even need to look at the book. But for now, I'm gonna do it for the video. Kids cooking. Companies coming. Or something like that. I don't really know. Anyway, here's apple leather. Alright, so let's get started. Now, it says first that we need 14 ounces of applesauce. Now, that would actually be 1 3/4. So, you might be wondering why I have a lot of cups of applesauce here. Well, I know what you're thinking. 1 cup might be a whole full cup, but it isn't. So, you actually need a couple. So I'm just putting the applesauce in. This one might actually be half of this one because it's getting pretty full. Okay, I think that will be 1 cup. All right, we pour it into the bowl. Then we need the others. And the last cup, which will probably fill it right to the top. Yep. And about 3/4. Next step. Now, before I start the next step, I better heat up my oven. All right, there we go. Now, the next step, you'll need 1 tablespoon of sugar or honey. Now, my mom prefers that I use honey, and so do I. So that's what I'm going to be using. All right, here we've got our 1 tablespoon of honey, and we're going to pour it in. Maybe I'll scrape it in because it might take a while. Yeah, I think that's about it. All right, moving on to the next step. All right, now you need 1/8 of a teaspoon, which would be just about this. And my mom needed to help me with this one because cinnamon isn't very good for you to breathe in. It's actually made of wood, and if there's too much in the air, then it could be really bad for you. So, I spilled some. I'm just gonna dump that in, and I think I'll have to get some more in. So, just pausing the camera. Okay, that was weird. All right, now I'm sure I've got the full 1/8 of a teaspoon in. So, we are going to do the next step now. Well, you have to mix it. You have to mix it. Mixing this. Smells pretty good. Actually, the camera could smell. But Alright, all done mixing. Moving on to the next step. Okay guys, now I've got a tray with parchment paper on it. And now I'm just going to dump the applesauce and honey and cinnamon onto the tray, and I'm just going to give it a scrape so I get all that extra bit. Alright, that seems just about it. Now I'm going to smooth it out so it's like sort of like a big rectangle, kind of. But it has to be thin enough. This looks kind of wet, but like, you have to put it in the oven to dry, and that sure takes a while. I don't know exact, but last time I made applesauce, it was at like 8 o'clock p.m., and it was drying overnight. Alright, so now we've smoothed out the apple leather, and now we have to let it dry in the oven for 7 hours, which is why I am not allowed to make apple leather at 8 p.m. anymore, because we wouldn't want to leave the oven on all night, and I'm also not supposed to do it at like when it's 45 degrees outside, so now I'm going to put it in. Now, the boring part. You have to wait, like I said, for 7 hours. Won't be back in a while. Hey guys, the apple leather is finally done, and it's 8 o'clock. Well, 8:02 to be exact, but no one really cares the time right now. You can cut it up into strips, and you can peel it off the paper. You can do all sorts of stuff. This is what I like to do. They're kind of like fruit roll-ups. This one's a bit small, but in the end, they do taste good. Well, I hope you guys followed along with me and the recipe. And if you didn't, you can watch it again if you want. And try and make some apple leather. Bye, guys.